Have you ever wondered how a split air conditioner actually cools a room? We use air conditioners every day in homes, offices, shops, and buildings. But many people do not understand what is happening inside the system when the AC is running. In this video, we will clearly explain the complete working system of a split air conditioner. We will understand all the major components and how refrigerant flows through the system step by step. By the end of this video, you will understand how cooling is produced inside your room. So let's begin. What is a split air conditioner? A split air conditioner is one of the most common types of air conditioning systems used in homes and small offices. It is called a split system because it has two main units. The indoor unit, which is installed inside the room, and the outdoor unit, which is installed outside the building. Both units are connected by copper pipes, electrical wiring, and a drain pipe. The indoor unit is responsible for absorbing heat from the room. The outdoor unit releases that heat into the outside air. This process is based on something called the refrigeration cycle. Main components of a split AC system. A split air conditioner mainly works using four major components: compressor, condenser, expansion device, evaporator. These components work together to move heat from inside the room to the outside environment. The system also uses a special fluid called refrigerant. Refrigerant is the substance that absorbs and releases heat during the cooling process. Now let's understand each component one by one. 1. Compressor, the heart of the AC system. The compressor is located inside the outdoor unit of the split AC. It is often called the heart of the refrigeration system. The main job of the compressor is to compress the refrigerant gas. When refrigerant leaves the evaporator, it is in low pressure, low temperature gas form. The compressor takes this low pressure gas and compresses it. After compression, the refrigerant becomes high pressure, high temperature gas. This high pressure gas is then sent to the condenser coil. Without the compressor, the refrigerant cannot circulate through the system. That is why the compressor is one of the most important and expensive parts of an air conditioner. 2. Condenser, heat rejection process. The condenser is also located in the outdoor unit. The hot high-pressure refrigerant gas coming from the compressor enters the condenser coil. The condenser has metal coils and aluminium fins. A fan blows outside air across these coils. As air passes over the condenser coils, heat from the refrigerant is released into the outside environment. Because of this heat removal process, the refrigerant starts to cool down. During this process, the refrigerant changes its state from gas to liquid. So after leaving the condenser, the refrigerant becomes high-pressure liquid refrigerant. This liquid refrigerant then moves toward the expansion device. 3. Expansion device, pressure reduction. The next component in the refrigeration cycle is the expansion device. In most split AC systems, this device is either a capillary tube or a thermostatic expansion valve, TXV. The expansion device has a very important function. It reduces the pressure of the refrigerant. When the high-pressure liquid refrigerant passes through the expansion device, its pressure suddenly drops. Because of this pressure drop, the temperature of the refrigerant also drops. Now the refrigerant becomes a low-pressure, low-temperature mixture of liquid and gas. This cold refrigerant is now ready to enter the evaporator coil. 4. Evaporator, cooling process. The evaporator coil is located inside the indoor unit of the split AC. This is the place where the actual cooling of the room happens. The cold refrigerant from the expansion device enters the evaporator coil. At the same time, the indoor fan blows warm air from the room across the evaporator coil. Since the refrigerant inside the coil is very cold, it absorbs heat from the room air. As heat is absorbed, the refrigerant evaporates and turns into gas. This process removes heat from the indoor air. The air that leaves the evaporator coil becomes cool air, which is then blown back into the room. This is how your room becomes cool and comfortable. Refrigerant flow in a split AC, complete cycle. Now let's quickly understand the complete refrigerant flow cycle. Step 1. Low pressure refrigerant gas leaves the evaporator and goes to the compressor. Step 2. The compressor compresses the refrigerant and turns it into high pressure, high temperature gas. Step 3. This hot gas enters the condenser coil. Step 4. The condenser releases heat to the outside air and converts the refrigerant into high-pressure liquid. Step 5. The liquid refrigerant passes through the expansion device. Step 6. The pressure drops and the refrigerant becomes very cold. Step 7. The cold refrigerant enters the evaporator coil. Step 8. It absorbs heat from indoor air and produces cooling. After that, the refrigerant returns to the compressor. And the cycle repeats again and again.